Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first time watching, then welcome. Today I'm going to be showing you how to do this kind of warm sunset tone cut crease look using the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Jawbreaker Palette. I haven't used this palette in a while. It's always been kind of one of my favorite palettes ever since I got it a little over a year ago. It's been definitely my go-to palette for, you know, rainbow kind of colors, and I am like a rainbow color eyeshadow person, so it's definitely been the one that I'm like kind of reach towards every time I do a rainbow look. But lately I've been kind of neglecting it and using my chromated and my orgy palettes, I guess because those have just been the latest launches, so I've been wanting to kind of stay relevant and just do things that people are going to be looking at more often. But I know I've had a few people ask for more Jawbreaker palette videos, and someone did ask a wee while ago, and I did like one video using this palette, and then I was like, on to the next one. So I've been really wanting to do a look using this palette for a long time. I had like an idea of a look in my head that I wanted to do, but it didn't turn out how I wanted, or just it didn't turn out how I was expecting anyway. So this is what I ended up coming up with. I was expecting it to be more pink, and then I added the yellow in, and I was like, I'm not actually sure why I was expecting it to be pink, because if you add yellow to pink, it's not going to be pink anymore. But yeah, I'm still getting used to like when you add colors to another color, it turns into another color. I mean, I guess it's like primary school stuff, like 5-year-old kind of school stuff. Yeah, I'm going back to basics and learning that all over again. But yeah, I'm really happy with the way this turned out. It's nice and crisp. I love the yellow. It looks nice and warm and sunsetty, and it looks really good with blue eyes. So I'm really happy with this look, and I hope you guys are interested in this look too, because if you are interested, I've got a whole tutorial for you guys that you can go watch. So yeah, if you guys would like to see how I created this look, then keep on watching. Okay, so eyebrows, eyeshadow base. I am using a white eyeshadow base today as well, because I'm going to be using a lot of color, so I want that to be as bright as possible and just have a really nice base for that. So yeah, that's why I'm using a white base. I'm going to start off by applying the colors to the crease first. So I'm going to go in with 3 different colors. So I'm going to be using 3 different brushes, a couple of, you know, fluffy blending brushes, and a more smaller domed crease brush. And I'm going to go in with this shade here called Raspberry, this shade here called Bubblegum, and this shade here called Wow. So I'm just going to start off by applying the raspberry shade to the crease first, using that domed crease brush, and just really packing it on and getting the colour really built up. I'm going to be applying this with small circular motions, which is going to help buff the colour in, and it's going to, you know, keep the edges of that nice and blended, so that when we apply the next shade, it's going to be easier to blend those two together. Next, I'm going to go in with the second pink shade, which is called Bubblegum, and just applying that in a similar way to the way that I applied the first shade, but this time I'm going to be putting the brush half on the raspberry shade and half on the blank skin above that shade, and that's just going to help blend those two colors in together really nicely. Again, doing this all the way across the crease and just applying in circular motions. Then lastly, I'm going in with the yellow shade Wow and another fluffy blending brush, and I'm using that to blend out everything that we've got on the crease. And again, in small circular motions, half on the color and half on the skin above, you know, the eyeshadow that we've already applied, and that's going to help blend them all together and keep the edges of that really nice and soft. Once I've got all those colors down, I'm going to just go back and forth between all 3 shades and just reapply and blend until we're happy with the way that the crease looks. We don't want to have any harsh lines, we just want it to be more of like a gradient effect. Okay, so that's looking nice and blended now. It has taken a wee while to get that done, so yeah, you can expect a blend like this to take a decent amount of time. I think it's taken me like at least 40 minutes or so just to do the blend, but that's pretty much the only way you're going to get, you know, a really nice even blend, is just patience really, and just going back in and reapplying and just doing several kind of layers. So it's to be expected. But what we're going to do next is prep the eye to do a cut crease. So I'm going to be going in with some Vaseline and a flat rounded concealer brush, and I'm just using this the same way I would if I was carving out the crease with an eyeshadow base. So I'm just using the Vaseline to loosen up the product that I've got on the eyelid, and then I'm going to wipe it away with a cotton tip. Doing this in a cut crease shape, and this is going to give us our template for when we actually, you know, place the base down, and it's going to make it a whole lot easier to get the right shape that we're after. Okay, now we have the eyelid prepped to do the cut crease. We're going to do the cut crease. So I'm going in with my P.Louise base and another flat rounded concealer brush, and I'm just doing pretty much what I just did, but doing it again. Does that make sense? And I'm just going to basically be doing the same thing, but this time with the base. So applying it where I've already prepped it, but this time I'm going to just apply in tapping and, you know, like dabbing motions, as opposed to dragging the brush, because that's going to help keep the base as white as possible, so that any color that we put on top of that is going to be as accurate and true to color as possible, and also as vibrant as possible. So just making sure we've got an even layer of the base across the entire eyelid, and we want the edges to be as nice and crisp as possible. Okay, the crease is carved out, and now it's time to add some color to it. So I'm going to go back in with the same domed crease brush that I used in the crease, and that same raspberry shade, and I'm applying that just to the outer corner of the eye and blending that towards the, you know, center of the eyelid, or dragging that onto the eyelid a little bit and just getting that nice and blended, but also really packed on and vibrant. Then for the rest of the cut crease, I'm going to go in with an all over shader brush, and this shade here called Lemon Drop, and I'm just packing this on to the remainder of the eyelid that we've carved out, and I'm just making sure that I get right up to the edge of the cut crease and covering any white base that we have, and just slightly dragging this across and blending it into the dark pink that we have in the outer corner. Okay, so that is the top of the eye complete. Now we're going to move to the under eye and smoke out the lower lash line. So I'm going to first apply some of my P.Louise base to the under eye area, and using that same concealer brush that I used for the top of the eye. And then I'm going to go in with the same 3 shades that I applied in the crease, but doing that underneath. So I'm going to start with the darkest pink shade Raspberry, and the same brush that I used for that, and just really packing that on and getting that color nice and deep and vibrant. And then moving to the second shade, which was Bubblegum, the lighter pink, and the same brush that I used for that, and just, yeah, blending that into the darker pink and just getting that color nice and packed on. Then I'm going to move to the yellow shade, which was called Wow, and that same blending brush, and just again applying that, packing it on, and blending that into the other colors that we've got under the eye. Okay, so that is the eye look complete, and as you can probably see, the lighting has changed a bit. I had to pop out for like a couple hours with my makeup half done, and so I'm a little bit disappointed. It's kind of changed how it's looked a bit, but it still looks fabulous anyway. So let's just continue. I'm just going to do my face makeup now, and then I'll be back to finish off the rest of the look. Okay, so I've finished my face makeup, almost. I'm just going to add some highlighter. So the highlighter that I'm going to use today, I'm sure it won't really come as a surprise, but I'm going to be using my Lime Crime Opals highlight. I mean, I always use this because I've literally only got basically only have the 2 Lime Crime highlighters that I use. I'm going to be using the center one called Gold, and just applying it with, I'm going to use 2 different brushes. So I'm going to use the large fluffy one for my face, and the small pencil brush for around my eye area. So using the small pencil brush, I'm going to be applying that to my tear duct and my brow bone. And then using the large fluffy brush, I'm just applying this to my cheekbones, the tip of my nose, and my cupid's bow. Next, I'm going to apply some lipstick. So I'm going to go in with my Revlon Ultra HD Matte Lip Color in the shade Seduction. Okay, so that is the look complete. The last thing left to do is just to apply mascara and eyelashes. So I'm not sure if I've ever done this, but today I'm not wearing the XO Beauty Foam Ink lashes. Shocking, I know. But I am wearing the XO Beauty Stacked Lashes, which is a new range by XO Beauty you may have seen. I did a try on video with the new stacked lashes, and honestly they are so amazing. So I'm going to be wearing these lashes today. These are the stacked lashes in the style the Tease. I'm going to pop these on off camera and then I'll be back to show you guys the completed look. Okay, so here we have the completed look with the lashes. I'm really happy with the way this turned out. I literally say that every single time, but it's just true every single time, you know? It definitely turned out a bit different to how I was expecting it. When I planned it kind of in my head, I was expecting it to be quite pink, but it's kind of gone more reddy, orangey kind of toned. So I was a little bit disappointed about that because I was aiming for a bit of a pink look, but it still looks amazing and it's just a different color than what I was expecting, so it's not really a big deal. And I really love these lashes, these stacked lashes by XO Beauty. They give you like that full kind of volume and length without being really heavy, which some other lashes can be. These have got the thin kind of lash line, whereas some of the foam ink lashes have a bit of a thicker like lash line where they all get glued onto. So these ones are definitely a lot more comfortable. I always love to do color as well. Like, I'm not really a neutral person, so it's really fun to do a bit of color again. This yellow shade that I've got on the eye, Lemon Drop, I really love the way that looks and just the way it performs. Like, it's so smooth and creamy, and the shimmer shades in this palette in particular are just amazing. They're just probably my favorite eyeshadow formula that I've ever tried, is the shimmer ones in the Jawbreaker palette. I also really love this Revlon lipstick, the Ultra HD matte lip color. It's like, it's not fully matte, like it's like a moussey kind of creamy matte. Like, it doesn't really, I guess it doesn't really dry 100% matte, but it feels really comfortable on the lip. You can still get that like nice defined edge. It doesn't bleed, and I hardly ever have to retouch it. I usually wear this one during the day, and like I'll retouch it like once or twice maybe, like, and I'll be eating and drinking coffee and all of that. So it does last pretty well, and it's just kind of a nice like neutral kind of, it looks like my lip color but just better, I guess. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video. If you did, then please thumbs up, and if you didn't, then I guess you just got a thumbs down. But if you did enjoy the video, then make sure you hit that subscribe button. Wrong side. But if you did enjoy the video, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and tick that little bell button so you can get notified every time I post a new video. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you in the next one.